Hello everyone, this is a comparison video. Now, I got two 360s here, and this is a first generation model, the one without the HDMI. And on the right, this is the newer version with the HDMI. This is actually the Jasper version. And I'm going to explain you the differences between these two. Now, on the outside, the biggest difference is the HDMI. So, let's look in the back. And I'll stack these two. That way you guys can get an idea what's the difference. So, overall, where the power plug is pretty much identical. The stickers are a little different, but that's pretty much it. On this side, you obviously have an extra port down here, which this is where the HDMI is. Now, when they put the HDMI is on the bottom, and the multi-AV port is actually on the top now. So the port is actually raised up. And other than that, it's pretty much identical. Now obviously, if one of these was a arcade model, you would not have chrome here. It would actually be the same white plastic. And another interesting thing I noticed was the actual hard drives. So let me pull out these hard drives and show you the difference. Now, this particular one here originally had the 20 gig, but when my brother got another one, he got the 60 gig model, and I took his 60. But the 120 and the original 20 looks identical. The top one is the 60 gig, and the bottom one is the 120. The top looks similar, and underneath here, they're pretty much identical. Now, either in size, the 60 does not have that chrome. So this was an area where they cut cost, and surprisingly, for some reason, this plastic they use is pretty flimsy. I mean, you can press this down and it actually pushes this plastic up a little. So, you know, unlike this chrome they use, it's pretty stiff, but this one seems very flimsy and cheap. But let me make sure I put it back in the right ones. Now, that's pretty much it with these two in terms of how it looks on the outside. The biggest difference with the Jaspers versus the older models is that the new Jaspers are more reliable. Not only they're quieter than the originals, but they produce much less heat, and that's because the chips they're using are much smaller, uses less electricity, and produce less heat. So when you have these on and you put your hands where the fans are, this one feels really cool. Unlike this, the one without the HDMI, it just feels very warm. The plastic starts to feel warm, and you know, that's where you start running into problems with the red ring of death, you know, things like that. So those are pretty much the biggest things with the new versions. And as you know, the Microsoft is discontinuing the Pro version, the one with the 60 gig, and they're just going to strictly have the original arcade model. Like I said, the arcade doesn't have the chrome here, it's just the white plastic, and the Elite, which is the black one. So you're going to have a choice coming soon of either the arcade without a hard drive or the Elite with a hard drive. So basically this type of look is being phased out unless they update the arcade and put this chrome back on, but I don't think they're going to be doing that. So that's pretty much a comparison between these two. And before I go, I learned something about having two of these systems together. They don't stack too well together. Look at that. It doesn't stay put. So obviously these weren't really meant to be stacked. So I don't know, that's just something I kind of noticed when I was just stacking this together. Figure I'd point that out. You know what? Let's see how it looks behind the faceplate. See if there's any difference between these. So take that one out. Let's see, this is the HDMI version. I'll just put that one there. Take this one out. Alright, this is the original version, and this is the newer version. So I'll just stack these two together and we can look at them. Now, yeah, I mean, there's not really much difference. You know, they didn't really change too many things. And, yeah, doesn't really look any different. So, yeah, that's pretty much it. This has been a comparison look between the original 360s and the new Jaspers. So, I'm out, and like always, have a good one.